We all set?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Alrighty, we are here today for the Sumner County Library Board Budget Committee meeting, and it is Friday, February the 14th. We are starting at 11:03. We are at the Sumner County Administration Building in room 112, and I would like to welcome everybody. Welcome our committee members, Mike and Joanna, and I'd like to call the meeting to order and do a roll call.
Okay. Joanna?
Mike, Brian.
Pam Teller. And the committee consists of 5 members. Shannon Bergdorf and Paul McCoy are not able to be here today. And moving on to item number 3 on the agenda is the invocation. So Mike, do you mind leading our prayer?
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you in Jesus' name. We thank you for your just your wisdom and grace for all of our decisions and all of our discussion, and ask you, Lord, to just give us direction and obviously when we're talking about budget and we're talking about stewardship of the county's money and the library's money and all that, Lord, we just ask you to show us exactly what you want us to do and recommend, and pray that you just give us the right direction to go with each library, each director, each staff member. Lord, we're so thankful for all of them, and we just ask you to bless each library, bless each person that's working in the system and has the heart for the kids and the patrons that come in the library, and we just join them and stand with them, and so we just ask you, Lord, to for your glory and just your the way that you are wanting the libraries to be set up and how all of that goes. We just pray that these things are smooth, and we just have a library system that glorifies you. We just thank you in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Okie doke. Item number 4 is to approve the agenda. Thank you, Gavin.
Thank you.
You want to set them up? What you looking for, Joanna?
Okay. My notes from yesterday.
Oh.
I was like, where
I got
did
mine
my
too,
notes
yeah.
go? Okay, I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nope. Okay, good. And number 5 is public recognition. We don't have any guests or anything from the public. However, we do have 3 of our directors that are here today, so we'd like to welcome you, Anita, and Amy, and Gabby. So welcome, and thank you guys for coming. Number 6 is to approve the minutes from the December meeting that we had, and I have those.
Yep.
If you guys want to look over those real quickly and just remember our meeting, it kind of spells out exactly what we talked about.
I looked at it. I make a motion we approve the minutes.
I second.
Okay, awesome. So all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And number 7 is open up discussion for new business.
Okay. So moved
Second.
for discussing
The budgets.
discussion for budgets.
Yes.
Okay.
For each library,
Yep.
and we have all of those worksheets here with us. We had talked about, is it postponing rules, Tom's rules?
Oh, I make a motion to suspend Robert's rules.
Robert's rules, yeah.
Second.
Tom.
Yes. Yeah.
To suspend Robert's rules.
Yeah.
Um,
Second.
And that's so that we can have you guys be able to answer any questions. Okay. All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good. Any opposed?
Yeah.
Good. All right,
Yeah.
let's get busy.
Okay.
Got a lot to cover. So
All
which
right.
library do we want to start with?
Can we start with Millersville first?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure thing. All right. So,
Do you have a copy for us?
let's see, yes, there's yours. Sorry about
Okay.
that.
That's the salary worksheet, so that one is really nothing that we have.
Is she asking for more people?
So I got to meet with Amy. Thank you, Amy, for being so gracious to me that day. I got to spend quite a bit of time there, and I really enjoyed meeting the staff and loved it. So I really appreciate that. So there, I've got notes here. So I haven't looked at the printed version yet because I got that today. But Amy did email it all to me, but I was on the road all day yesterday, so couldn't get all that on my thing. But one of the biggest things. So Amy, just anything that I say that's not exactly accurate, it's just going to be from memory. So if you can just help me. I think the biggest thing is that, I think I mentioned this to y'all already, that there was a little bit of a plea for a raise for the staff, and there's like a 20% increase is obviously what I think is the biggest. Is that the biggest thing, the biggest change probably? And then there's, if you look over to the printed page that looks like this, there's a thing there that says, let's see, where is it?
The justification for 2 full-time positions
Yeah,
and justification
yes.
for 20% salary increase?
Yeah.
Is that the
yeah,
ones you're looking
yeah,
for?
Yeah,
Okay.
the last page, yep. So if we want to have Amy address those things, I think that would be a good idea, just so I can, instead of just us reading. But that was really the biggest thing. And I have a lot of other notes here. The library opened in 2016. Part-time staff has only gotten a couple of raises since then. Full-time staff got 3 cost of living raises during that time. There's some staff shifting, some people are moving to other positions, and so I think that Cody is leaving, is that right? Oh no, did I have that wrong?
I would like him to go and be if I get the position for the full-time clerk.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I've got a little arrow pointing up here where he would go. Okay.
May I make a request? Just really quickly?
Sure.
Just because we're on an extreme time crunch.
Yep.
So a 20% salary increase, we actually met with finance yesterday.
Oh, okay.
To
All
go,
right,
because
good.
we were like, we wanted to get like, what's going on, what's
Big
going down,
picture,
one
yeah.
thing, which actually, it's a good thing we went, because we come to find out that they actually are doing,
Early
or they're doing the hearings at the end of March. So it's
Oh,
way
okay.
earlier than what it has been.
last year was May.
Oh.
Last year was May,
Oh,
so
wow.
it's
Oh, my
it's
gosh.
extremely early.
Okay.
A 20% salary isn't going to get approved, like not even close. Even 5% is a reach.
Okay.
So, and looking at these, I get rising rent costs, rising food prices, increased health insurance, but honestly, at this point in time, 20% is not gonna happen. And so, because we're on a time crunch, if she wants to present it at the full board, great, but I just don't think that it's something that I'm gonna vote for to be sent to the full board. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And like I don't know that 20% is gonna happen. Does that make
Okay,
sense?
yeah.
And I just
Is
wanna.
it a 20% increase in your overall budget, or just a 20% increase in
And just the staff salaries.
just staff?
Yeah, not
Yeah.
Amy. Amy's
Right.
not asking for that for herself.
Right.
Yeah, and that would still have to get approved by budget, and I don't see anybody getting that. And what we could do is in the meantime, maybe she wants to talk more about it and then at the full library go through it, because we have to get through all the line items
Yeah.
that she has.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Mhm.
So, and then, the 2 full-time positions, since you have this here, we could, take a look at that.
Yeah,
But getting full-time positions is going to be,
new full-time positions, okay.
yeah,
All right.
that's even going to be an extreme hurdle.
Yeah,
That,
that's even bigger than the raise
that's
almost.
just as big as the raise.
Yeah.
Part-time, easier to get, full-time, because you're talking benefits and everything.
Right.
So this is going to be, both of these are like
big.
huge hurdles.
Big, yeah.
So could we go through her budget
Yep.
right now?
Yeah, we sure can.
And then.
And then maybe put the salary, the new positions and the raises.
Yeah, we
to
can
the full
approve the
board.
budget, with
Present it
clarification.
there just to see
Yeah.
if there's a possibility. I didn't know y'all had met with finance yesterday, so y'all have even a better insight than.
Well, we just met with finance because we're trying to put together an SMO or SOP,
Yeah.
whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to figure this out, and we just happened to ask her about some budget things because we
Okay.
knew we were meeting, today, and we're like, hey, how does this work? What do you guys need?
Yeah, what's the
Everything.
time frame especially?
Exactly. And we talked about COLA, and
Okay.
we had said we had talked about the 20%, but we had talked about 3 and 5%.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, that's like 3%, 5% was last year was like a
big deal.
yeah. So anyway, and I'm not saying that can't talk about, but this is like
Yeah.
huge,
Yeah.
huge, big
Okay.
deal. Okay, so I have to get my magnifying glass out right now.
And then they're small.
Anything that you on this that did you go through the line items with her and everything?
We
Everything
went
else.
through, I mean, it was like there was like, so I have let's see where the back page is, oh, right here.
This one or oh no, this is this this is the salary worksheet. Okay.
And pretty much everything
And this is the
above.
capital. Okay. And can I ask you a question, Amy? One of the things that finance was talking to us about as we were trying to figure out SMOs, SOP, whatever you want to say. One thing that bogs them down are transfers. How many transfers did you have last year?
I do not know off the top of my head.
More than 3?
Probably.
Less than 10?
Probably more than 3, because when it gets closer to the end of the year, I want to make sure that I'm covered where I need to be covered, because sometimes, prices increase on things
Sure.
that I wasn't expecting, because, you can only predict estimated costs for like electricity and that type of thing, and when it is the summer and, they cut off transfers at the beginning of May, and if my electricity or water look like they might not make it, I'm going to transfer funds in just to be on the safe side. And
Sure.
typically, if I have any additional funds, like last year, we were working on updating the security for our movie collection, our DVDs. And so
Mhm.
that was a big transfer that wouldn't be, a yearly thing. So it's just more of as I see a need. So like this year, I knew I had to transfer funds in to cover the initial cost of Atrium, which is actually going to be saving me money from now on, because it's cheaper than what I was paying for TLC.
Sure.
And so it's just as I see it, and I always talk with Beth prior to make sure that everything will work correctly, and I give her everything that she needs. She has never once said that it's been an issue anytime I've asked for a transfer.
So just to clarify, and Pam, you can chime in here too. It's not that it's an issue, but it does take time. And then also, the less transfers, the better, because it's got to go here, here, there, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And of course, you're not the only department that does transfers. You've got
Sure.
transfers. So what
The
we're
whole
trying to
county.
make it,
Mhm.
is that less taxing on them, less taxing on you guys, and so that's what we're trying to look at history and then what is today, what you're asking today. So what lines do you mainly transfer out of?
That I transfer out of, it depends
Yeah,
on-
like where are some of your maybe reoccurring transfers to, and then you take money from?
The money from line is different every time because it depends on what the cost of certain things. So like, I always keep $500 in my maintenance line in case something goes wrong with something in the fire alarm system, because it's about
Sure.
$500 to have them come out and fix it.
Okay.
And then, at the end of the year, if I didn't have to have some, I've yet to not need somebody to come out and look at it, then I
Yeah.
can move that money because it feels wasteful to not use it. And if I don't consider them extra funds, but if I have funds in lines that it turns out I'm not going to need, I move it into those.
Okay.
What
So,
SMO
hmm?
is? What is SMO?
Standard method of operation.
Or SOP. is
Or
standard
SOP,
operating
whichever
procedure.
one you, yeah.
I have
So-
to ask initials a lot of times too.
Yeah.
She said a couple of them yesterday and I'm like, what's ERP or what's, so some of the acronyms, I don't know them either.
So just like other, like other contracted services, it looks like last year it was 6,900, and that's on the first, page, about
This page?
2/3 down, and 7,500 is what's in there. Last year was 6,900. It looks like you used about 3,900. So what are other contracted services that you have right now?
So that would be if we have like the science guys come out, Animal Tales, part of our Comcast bill comes out of that line.
Now, why would your Comcast bill come out of that one?
That's $3.99, so that's where the cable comes out, I think. But then like our lawn care comes out of that. And they are having to increase their prices, so I talked with them, so I know how much their prices are going to be increasing at the new fiscal year, so that will cover that increase.
And do you guys have a friends group?
Yes,
I thought so. And with your friends group, what do they cover?
they cover what they can. They
I get that.
cover, because as it was explained to me when I started, that the county is happy to cover educational programs. And so the Friends pay for the programs that aren't educational in nature, so they'll cover like our parenthood visits, right? Or the puppet show, or they help provide for a lot of our programming supplies.
Okay.
Like a lot of our programming supplies, especially during summer reading, they're our backer.
Sure.
And so they are there to help promote library programs, and they cover the cost for the ones that aren't, that the county doesn't necessarily see as educational.
Okay. And then, like data processing and supplies, you only used $45 of it, but you have $454 left, and then you dropped it down to $250, and if that, you're just not seeing that you.
With the Canon contract we now have, we don't have to pay for toner. So that's why I removed funds from there, because we were having to pay for toner, and it was hard to predict when we were going to need it. But now we don't have to pay for toner, it's in our Comcast, not our Comcast, our Canon line, so that would be under maintenance agreement,
Okay. Gotcha.
which is why that's slightly increased to help cover that cost.
Okay. And then, electricity, it looks like you're asking for 20% more than what you have in there right now. I mean, general electricity doesn't go up 20%, but it could in Nashville, I don't know. So tell me about the 20% increase.
So I know I don't have enough in my electricity to cover this year.
Okay.
Because the cost has gone up. So what I did, I took the last 3 fiscal years and I looked at the average increased cost
Okay.
per month and then per year.
Okay.
And so I did the future math of, okay, so if this trend continues and we're already
Yeah.
like, we don't turn the lights on before, like 2 minutes before we open, we don't turn on the computers until like, right from, like, we
Gotcha.
don't do all that, so it's with the estimated math of, okay, this is the trend, and I'm very, unlike that electricity's ever gonna go down. So it was just
Yeah.
the average estimated cost based on the months that I had. So like, our electricity is always much higher in the summer because we have gas for the winter. So like my July bill was, should have written this down,
It's okay.
$300 more than last July.
Okay.
And so it's just, you know, I'm finding the averages, doing the math, and then what I do is I try to be
Gotcha.
conservative on the addition, but I'm like, I also need to make sure that I have enough because
Yeah.
supplies are, everything's going up. So
Yeah.
that's how I got that math.
Okay. And then my last question is the 24,000 for library books and media. I mean, that's a significant increase. It's 6,000. And I get that it's 10% of local appropriations are budgeted for materials, and that's state standards. But again, state standards are not law;
Right.
they're just guidelines. And I apologize if I'm missing. Am I missing another
It's on the back.
page? It didn't go up on this back for me.
Oh,
I'm sorry. So you're looking at almost $100,000 more.
That is including
The
the
salary.
2 additional full-time lines, and then the medical, the dental, the insurance, and everything like that.
Okay.
So, when I was going over it with Mike, it was maybe a little under a 10% increase in my operating budget. And I feel that it's very fair considering the library's been open 10 years, and over that entire time, there's been a total cumulative increase of 7%.
Okay, so you're looking for a 10% increase in operating budget, okay? And it looks like a lot of that is coming from the books.
Well, some of it, yes.
Because, I mean, $6,000 is a lot, for books, $6,000.
It is, I went back, so I didn't just like guess a random number.
I'm not.
I went back and I compared in our receipts, the cost of books that we purchased when the library first opened versus the last 3 fiscal years, because those are the easiest for me to find and figure out
Sure.
how they work. And if I compare the cost of the books then to the cost of the books if I bought it today, it was about a 12% increase.
Mhm.
And so this is just so we can, and again, it's future estimating math. It's all kind of a guess and magic.
Yeah.
But if the trend continues, because everything's going up, this would equate to about what I spend now.
And 5,000 of that, because that's why Millersville also gave you an extra 2,500, right? So now you're at 5,000 from Millersville, correct?
But if, I don't know where that money comes in, because I never see it on my line item. Like,
Well-
I'm very confused about that part.
So you're supposed to, it's supposed to be worked into that. So basically, when we're looking at this, because Millersville goes towards books, correct?
Yeah, program supplies, yeah.
Okay, so that 5,000 is gonna be here. So when the commissioners look at this, they look at this and they take away 5,000 and know that the rest of it's coming from the county. Okay, so I didn't know if you guys knew that or
Okay,
either.
no, I didn't
Okay.
realize that.
So actually what you're asking her for is, so last year it was 200, so 2,500 would have been taken from that, so the difference would be from the county. So you're asking for, 2,400, so what's,
I am, and if you look at the previous
24,000, I
revised
apologize.
budgets for 24 and 23, that's approximately how much I spent in books with the transfers that I made, because I said at the end of the fiscal year, if there are any funds, I move it into books. So that's how much I've been spending. And I do not feel, based on the math that I've done, I would have those funds to transfer in, so it's more aligning with what I had previously spent.
but last year, they only approved you for 18.2, correct?
And as I said, I had the funds that I always move the funds into books, because that's, you know, what the library is primarily for, is books. And so I know, doing the math on everything else that again, future math, I wouldn't have the funds to transfer in for that amount, and that's how much it costs for us to purchase books and materials for the library for patrons to check out.
On the budget, it shows that it was 18,200 that was approved, 23,115, and then actually you spent $24,012.95. That's the actual, okay.
But that's with you moving money into there, correct?
And
Correct.
and looking at this year, I am 99.75% sure I'm not gonna have any funds to transfer in to go towards.
Because your other line items are pretty tight. Okay.
Okay.
And then, I don't understand the 5,000. Can you help me understand? I mean, I understand you're saying that $5,000 comes from,
That's the
Millersville.
MOE.
oh, okay.
That's the MOE.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Now I
no
get it.
worries.
Okay.
It's taken me 2 years to figure it out.
Okay,
so.
you said MOE, now I understand that,
Yep,
okay.
yep. So, and they just increased this year.
Okay.
I do want to know that I'm the only library in Sumner County that ever got an MOE increase.
Mhm. And I want clarification just to understand too, other contracted services, the line item Comcast goes into that? Because I don't know in
Part
the
of
other
our
budgets,
Comcast,
does it go into that?
If we have cable, some of our older patrons will come in and it's a program that we're figuring out the logistics for. And so, if we're also able not to cancel it right now, so I'm working with Robert and IT about that. And that's where those funds come out of the contracted services, because it wouldn't fall under communication or,
Because it's different than Comcast Internet?
yes.
Oh, okay, then okay, I understand that then, okay. Does any
We
other
don't have
library have cable where Comcast goes
I think
under that?
Hendersonville does.
And we looked into it, we just haven't been able to.
And how much is it? How much is the bill?
It, let's see.
So I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Sorry. So you have it where people can come in and watch cable, can watch TV at the library.
Yes.
Why, and why is that a service that we should provide for people to come in and watch, like come in and just watch
It was a
TV?
service that was provided prior to my tenure at Millersville, and I have been working for the past 18 months to try and get that removed.
Okay,
But since I'm trying to make sure I get the timeline correctly, but since the county has a large agreement with Comcast and the libraries were not included in that agreement last year, I've been working with IT and Comcast so that we can get on a similar agreement, because I sent the new contract to the law department. They're like, no, it has to be this. And Comcast is like, well, no, because you're not part of that agreement. And then Robert's like, well, let me see what I can do. And so we're trying
Sometimes.
to figure it out, because that's a lot of money that doesn't need to be spent there.
yeah,
Yeah.
But right
a
now,
lot.
So can you get us that information, because that's gonna be something that when we go, the commissioners will be like, we literally can't get out of this contract. This is how much money it is. And when you say new contract, when did the new contract happen?
I'm sorry, could you rephrase that? I want to make sure I'm answering it correctly.
You said when you sent the new contract to legal, is that the new contract? What new contract are you referencing?
So it would have been like an updated services contract that we agree to pay for the, like, internet and phone, because and not take the cable off, because people enjoy it, but it's not a need, it's not a necessity, so we've been trying to get that off.
Okay.
But then there's this, legal's like, well, you can't sign that one because we have this one, and they're like, well, you weren't a part of that one, so that doesn't count, and so we're trying to,
And so with Comcast right now, you're under a contract for cable.
and internet and phone.
And when does that contract go
If you
up?
could find that paperwork, that would be amazing.
Well, Comcast should be able to send it to you.
Oh, it's horrendous getting
I have-
anything out of them.
It took me 9 months to cancel my stuff from Comcast.
Oh, wow.
They are
Good grief.
horrendous.
And I've been
Okay.
trying to get this information.
So-
for
You get in
about a
touch with
year.
one person, they don't
And-
handle it,
and
oh,
then
you're a
they'll
government, you need
transfer
to talk
you,
to.
And then you have to talk to this person, but that one, oh, well, you're not actually part of this
Exactly.
group, so you need to talk to this one.
So we were all trying to
And-
get like Anita and Westmoreland and Portland, because Robert has managed to get them off onto a wire.
We're on what they call a VoIP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Voice
use
over
AT&T
IP.
for my internet only, and then the VoIP goes through. county IT.
And not to disparage Gabby also having this problem, but there have been so many former directors just trying to figure out whose name it is under and what email address.
Yeah.
They will
Okay.
separate us and
Yes,
Hendersonville.
and
Our bill is
so
still
our
together.
bill is Gallatin, Millersville, and Hendersonville, all combined but separate out. So I pay towards that bill the Millersville
Portion, yeah.
amount.
And do you know what that amount is?
It breaks it down by libraries.
Okay.
It's like a hierarchy account, so they combined 3 separate accounts, and I have been trying for, how
Okay.
long have I been here?
That's
3
fine.
years to try and get it separated out.
So, do you have that amount offhand? What it
I
is?
don't, and it
Okay.
changes, it fluctuates, because I got a discount for being paperless, but now that discount doesn't apply, so now this fund went up, but then they're also,
We're trying. to
Well, that's okay. Can you get us that amount and
for the whole bill?
for the whole bill for the whole year? Just so that, and then we gotta find out like who the
So we can
contract
see
is
what-
with, because then we
what it ends up
could,
being
that's
like.
money that we literally can't get out of this
Sure,
contract.
sure.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that's,
saying?
that's crazy.
But if y'all wanna call Comcast and give it a go, maybe they'll listen to
I have
y'all.
wasted so
That's okay.
many hours on the phone.
No, that's-
If you wanna get me that information, cause I don't mind, I have a way with
Being
corporations.
persuasive.
Do you want it
Yes.
for just this fiscal year or all the past fiscal year?
This
Just
fiscal
now,
year.
so that we
The one that
can
we're currently
try to
in,
get,
not-
Yeah.
okay.
get it resolved.
Which one
Yeah.
are we in now?
Yeah, okay. And, okay. So, I don't have the back, so I can't see the back. Did you have any questions on anything? And so just to confirm, the $703,000, almost $100,000 increase, I'll have to look at your salary worksheet to see where that's at, and then the difference is your increase in the remaining,
Operations.
correct? Okay, 10%, okay.
I do have a little bit more information about Comcast.
Oh, it's okay,
Okay.
sorry, we have to, but I will
No,
receive that happily from you in an email, for sure.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Did you have any
I mean, the
notes or
biggest thing
anything?
was just the, you know,
Yeah,
the staff
increase.
and the proposal for
Okay.
a raise. That was the biggest. The rest of it was kinda like, seemed pretty standard.
Any capital improvement monies that they're asking for this year?
There was one, let's see, what was it, Amy? There was like, you had done, like here, this sheet right here
This
shows.
is 2027.
I know, but I was just saying that's kind of what's projected.
It's
But there's,
down here, so we've been working with IT and they couldn't give me the information before today. I've been trying. There is a mandatory upgrade to Windows 11 happening in October.
yeah, that
And
was the
I
other
am
point.
waiting.
That's what this one is?
Yes,
Yes,
and I am waiting
right.
to see how much it's going to be to replace the computers. The estimate that I have, and again, I don't know if this is accurate because I haven't gotten to see what computers can upgrade and which
Is that
ones
this?
can't. I know the public computers, the 6 public computers we have don't need, they're fine. And so the estimate that I did was for each of the staff computers as well as the OPACs, the card catalogs.
So the upgrade is mandatory, so
Sure.
they're gonna have to upgrade computers to be able to,
Okay,
Is it 26?
so,
Yes, it's for next fiscal year, which is why I wanted to put it in the capital fund, so it wouldn't affect my MOE, because I'm
Yeah.
not going to need that fund every year. It's
you're
just,
gonna need the 10,000?
that's my estimate, like,
To
that's.
replace the computers?
To replace the computers.
Not
'cause-
every year.
no.
No, that's
Correct.
just, that's why it's
That's
on
just one
capital.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I was like making sure I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Because the estimate
So,
cost was about $1,000 per.
So what we found out is that we need to have that attached when we send in your stuff for
As
budget.
soon as I get it, I will more than happy send it to you.
No, what I'm trying to say is I just need a memo, like an explanation. If you can email that to us, like the 10,000, is it somewhere in here? It says computers and DP equipment, but if you could say, hey, it's mandatory.
So So on the line, it says estimated based on current increased cost, additional funds will be requested for capital project to purchase replacement computers for those that will be unable to update to Windows 11.
Is that on the back
Mhm.
of the budget? Which line
Oh,
is
it's
that?
over here,
It's on
okay.
the data processing line.
It's there, right there.
709. Oh, yeah.
I didn't get the back of
I didn't
everything.
either. I didn't get the back either.
So, that's okay.
So estimated 8,000 needed for new computers to run Windows 11 for fiscal year 26. That's
And
what
then I
you're,
forgot that there were two others that I forgot to count, which is why it's 10,000.
Okay, so you have it, so.
yeah, I do.
Okay.
But it's 10,000, not 8,000 estimated? Okay.
And that's
Because-
estimating at $1,000. Sometimes we can get the computers on sale and it'll be less, which is great, because then that money just goes back into capital.
But you're waiting on IT to give you the
Correct.
exact number.
Correct.
They have
And
to
then,
go to all the
and then the
computers that you have
specific
county that
specs
exist on.
for the computers.
To what?
They have to go to all the computers.
Yeah,
in
all the
entire
computers in the county.
Okay. And it's fine, we just, when we found out that if it's a capital, it has to be included in the worksheet and it has to have a memo, so we just
That's
wanna be
good.
able to have as much explanation
mark.
Get it as soon as.
as possible.
I was up there today asking for it.
Yeah, okay, awesome, so we just need, okay,
So that takes care of Millersville.
okay, and did you have anything else on Millersville that?
No, I don't think so. Am I missing anything, Amy? Have we covered?
Just, I know that you said you weren't going to talk about it now, but
Yeah,
I think it's very important that we provide livable wages and that staff should not be subsidized by government assistances.
okay, So-
And that's all I'm saying,
Okay.
that's the reason
Okay.
behind my request.
thank you.
We agree, by the way. We're kind of, our hands are kind of tied.
I know, but
What they
can't,
can do.
I have to advocate for
Yeah,
the staff,
absolutely.
that's my job, so.
Yeah, totally get it.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you wanna do next?
Do we need to finalize
Oh.
Millersville? And how do we move forward with this, since we
Oh,
have
okay.
some clarification that we have to have?
So then I move to, move forward with Millersville budget to the board, but with some clarifying questions to be answered and moved on to the board, so.
Okay.
that's-
A second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
All right, so just a few
Okay.
on there, okay.
So how about we do Portland?
And then, when you get into your email, would you mind emailing me what she had sent to you, so I
Yep.
have the back as well?
Yeah, sure will.
Okay, thank you. You wanna do
I'm
Portland?
sorry, I can just send it to everybody with
That's
the
awesome.
explanation of the Comcast information that I'm also gonna send, I can just send it to all this stuff to
Okay.
everybody.
Okay,
Yeah,
that'd be
If that's-
wonderful.
If that's easier,
Yeah,
so
that'd be
you don't
a
have
lot
to.
easier.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Fewer emails.
Yes,
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Thank you, Amy.
all right, so we're moving on to Portland.
Ooh. No, Portland's is a little bit small, and
Well, I
Paul,
started to say,
Testing
you
my
want bigger
eyes.
copies?
Oh, yeah.
Paul only sent me
Yeah.
the budget, he
PDF.
didn't send
Old
me
person
the
copy.
salary
I was
worksheet or your.
Okay.
Testing
your
my,
sheet.
testing my
You are
eyes
awesome.
today.
Thank you. You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Be sure to write Portland on that, guys.
Yes.
Thank you, Anita. Okay, yeah, and I didn't have these from Paul, the salary worksheets either, so
Oh,
that's good.
okay.
Okay.
All I did was copy everything from the salary worksheet over to the budget, so
You're
there's
awesome.
nothing
Thank
different
Okay.
on
Thank you
there.
very much.
And do you have any capital improvement monies? Okay. Okay,
Oh, thank you, Anita.
You're welcome.
all right,
All right, back with my eyes on.
all right. Okay, all right, so is there an increase up here?
The only increase on there is the 3% in salaries, there's no other increases at all.
Okay, did you have many transfers last year?
No, ma'am.
With your budget? Okay, and so you feel pretty confident in?
I made a few changes in a couple of lines because I did see a trend this year.
Okay.
So I did go ahead and make those, but everything is still exactly the same equal-wise. at the
Okay.
bottom, Yeah,
Alright. And so when you say that you didn't have a lot of transfers, like less than 3, more than 3?
less than 5.
Less than 5, okay,
Yeah,
This year, so far, I've had 2.
good job.
okay. Less than 5. And just curious, and Like where do you see that were the two that you transferred this year,
One
two of the
was-
ones that was from last year as well?
No, totally different.
So two
Well,
total.
one transfer I just turned into Data Beth. It actually is transfers for covering, since Lauren has come on, she has family insurance, so
Okay.
it's gonna be short in insurance and dental, or medical insurance and dental, so that was the transfer I just turned into Data Beth to go before the Board of Budget Committee next month. The other transfer was where our water fountain went totally kaput. And I never had a line for a water fountain, so I had to transfer money into that to buy
And
it.
did they
Okay.
create a line item for you?
Do what?
Did they create a line item
Yes.
for you? Yeah.
Okay.
We talked about that
Yes.
yesterday too.
We
Yeah,
have a
learned.
whole, and Mike, we have one of these for you too.
Okay.
You can bring
Yes,
this
I
back
did.
in,
Mhm.
of all of the codes for
Oh,
all the
okay,
lines.
good.
Yeah, this is, will help us
Amy
a
had
tremendous
made a,
amount.
made a little code thing for me,
That's all.
Yeah.
for her budget.
Yeah.
And then, lastly,
Good.
really quickly, just on what you're saying, we did talk to finance as well, and there was a good clarification that we now understand how the payroll works and insurance works, and that we are assured that if you guys can't find the money in your budget, the county will actually cover that.
Yes.
So we were assured by that, and that we now know why sometimes because of the benefits thing.
I was able
So-
to find it all within my budget this year.
Well, and one of the things that she mentioned that was very helpful too, and we'll mention it to the other two directors as well, but if you know of an employee's circumstances, like you've got somebody that's getting married and they may be adding it, for us to know that ahead of time so that they can start planning for it, and not like when it happens, we can start working to find where the funds are. Or if you've got somebody that, just finds out
Yeah.
that they're pregnant or something like that, the sooner that you can let us know so that we can pass it on to finance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
I asked Amy like a month before Lauren came, because I knew she was gonna, so she already had figured out the amount that I was gonna
Good,
be
and
short.
that's
Wonderful.
perfect, yeah. And
Yeah.
That would help them a lot.
And that's the SMO or SOP that we're gonna put together that is gonna help you guys, because then you tell the benefits manager, hey, this is coming up, so that county can know that, yeah. Okay, wonderful. All right.
I do have
any-
one question.
Okay.
Under health equipment for $3,000, what is health equipment? What is that?
I actually want to buy an AED for the
I was
library and
thinking that
everything,
that's
and
that
it's about
heart machine thing?
$2,800, yeah.
Okay,
So I figured by the time you add tax and everything.
okay.
Yeah, I actually had it in my budget to buy it this year, but I got Lauren instead.
And it's called an AED?
AED, it's the defibrillator, it's a dummy-proof defibrillator, basically.
Yeah.
I thought that's what that was, but I just wanted to make sure,
Yeah.
because we may get asked,
Yeah.
Yeah,
what's
no,
it?
And
absolutely.
there's a couple of other health items that I would like, there's, no, it's like if a kid's choking, there's like a kit or a little
Yeah,
suction
the-
thing to help with
Yeah.
CPR.
Is that
whatever,
in
so
that line item too?
That would be in that line item, yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Let me just look really quick.
So, yeah, I meant to get it this year, my plan was
As
to get
seen
it
on
this
TV,
year.
is it that one?
Mhm.
There's a
Yes.
one that's,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but I decided I wanted Lauren as my children's librarian more.
Well, she can do the Heimlich.
Yeah.
Got a person that can
There you
do it.
go.
Yeah.
So they're increasing about 25,000, is that right?
Yeah, the
That's
only thing
because
is
of
that
the
3%
COLA.
that's
Right,
just
okay.
in the salary, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, 30% COLA.
okay.
That's it.
Do I have a motion on the Portland budget?
Make a motion that this gets presented to the board.
Our second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, very good.
All right, so now we'll move on to Gallatin.
That works for me.
Would it mess us up with the quorum if I leave?
Yes.
It will, okay.
Is
I
it,
need-
can 10 more minutes?
I'll do my best, but
Okay.
I need to be gone.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
So with hers, the only increase there for the most part, correct me if I'm wrong, is COLA. Everything
Mhm.
else is the same, the operating is the same. We did move some numbers around. Did you fix the numbers that we had?
The
Talked
last
about-
two times we've met, those are in here.
Those, okay. I didn't look over those
No,
this
it's-
morning. So, there's a few questions that she has, a few clarifying things that she's looking into for me, because we had to meet again today. And one of the things, so Portland has a friends group as well, correct? And they have a foundation. You're the only ones that have a foundation, correct? So everybody has a friends group, even Westmoreland does, correct?
They
Yeah.
do.
Okay,
One of them was up there when I was doing
Yeah.
the budget with Lauren and Phyllis.
and so some of these things like supplies and stuff like that, you know, I talked with her and I said, you know, maybe even going to the friends group and asking to help a
Yeah.
little bit more in these places. And I understand that they don't have any control over what the friends do. I totally get that. But I do also know that in the friends group and the decree and all that they say that they're supposed to work with the directors and the board with the long-term goals and the immediate goals of the libraries, you know what I mean? And so, and I do believe that the Friends Group are doing great as well at every single library, but there's also an opportunity that if they're doing fundraisers, to use the funds for what's needed to alleviate some of the demand from the county, so that maybe that money can go towards new hires.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So, so there's a few things in here that I talked to Gabby about, maybe asking her friends to do. Also, one of the things that we had talked about that, you know, I ran a nonprofit for 15 years, a ministry at a church, so fundraising is always a fun
Mhm.
thing, you know,
Yeah.
and asking for money. And, you know, I know that Alicia does this. Do you guys seek out organizations for donations or to work or to donate things? Okay. Do you as well?
Yeah, mostly local ones.
What? Okay, so the friends and then
We search out local, like Portland businesses and everything to partner with, because it's a promotion for both of us.
Yeah.
Once we discuss that, we
Yeah.
do reach out.
Yeah.
I
We
wasn't
always have,
thinking
yeah.
about those kind of partnerships. I was thinking about like literal items, but we do partner with, the dance studio on the square, the milkshake and hamburger place on the square, and they do give us stuff towards prizes and events. So I guess I do, I've just never, but also I talked to Amy, and she does put on Facebook when they need a certain thing, and I can do that.
Okay.
Well, I
Okay.
know like Hendersonville, their friends group, or some of their employees even, reach out to local restaurants and do a donation night,
Okay.
because they've
And
asked
that's okay for
nothing
us to
but
do.
cakes.
Okay, so you feel comfortable with asking for donations?
I have been under the impression that's not, we weren't necessarily allowed to do that stuff, but if y'all are okay with it and we can move forward, I can make that happen.
Yeah, because it actually is in the job description to look for partnerships, and
Mhm.
and I do believe letting the community know, and I don't think it's a disrespect to the county commissioners.
They're doing like a percentage of sales, like, you know,
Yeah.
Brewster's Ice Cream on one
Dairy
certain
Queen
night,
used
they're
to do
doing a
it.
percentage of
Yes, we used
sales.
to do it.
Well,
They've
now-
asked our bakery
But they
to do
stopped
that.
that now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that goes to the friends.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm talking about donating items to
Directly
the
to the
library,
library.
directly
Oh,
to the
okay,
library.
okay.
So doing fundraisers like that is kind of beneficial, but literally that doesn't directly benefit them.
Sure, okay.
So I'm talking about, hey, we need this for
Here's our
summer.
Amazon wish list.
If anybody has any seeds they want to just donate for our seed library, I won't say no.
Mhm.
There you go.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying.
And
So,
I just wasn't thinking that way, like the Master Gardeners give us seeds. But I just am friends with them and they just do it, and I've never had to like ask for things, but I can, I'm going to.
okay,
It's just, it's so simple, I've not thought of it.
okay.
Good.
So then what I'd like to do then is, so there's a few things on here that she is gonna be looking into, the sewage, yes, sorry, I'm looking, can't see right now. Sewage, and what else was there?
There was something, and I couldn't figure out with the dues and memberships and licenses, but after I went in there and actually
That's what it
looked at
was.
them, the Swank movie license, we buy through 10 share because we get a discount. That's why it was MPLC and 10 share, but it's
Okay,
actually
there it is.
for the movie license that, because we belong to 10 share.
Just-
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is what we pay for the,
Okay,
I just didn't open it all the way.
okay. I can't find my other paper that I have all my other notes on. I have too many papers in front of me. Okay. So, all right. So then there's a few things that we're probably I'm gonna have more explanations for and possible, movement. So such as, this is what we were talking about, the program supplies on the second page, under instructional supplies and what's MTL?
Material.
Materials, okay, I just wanna make sure. She is asking for an increase. Last year it was only 2,700, and this year she wants 3,700. And so, and this is where we were talking about maybe asking the friends to help,
Yeah.
asking for donations as well. And that's $1,000 that can come off of the budget or can go towards something else, because also there was food supplies, which is, I had it marked. Where's the food supplies?
422.
It's at the
Food
bottom
prep,
of the
food
page.
prep supplies, no, it was another one.
It's up at the top of the second page.
Up at the top of the same page, okay,
Yeah.
things moved around, sorry.
Wow.
Okay, yes, food supplies, 1,040. This too could be something that we could get donations for, or ask the friends to supply. So I'm just looking for things that, they can help in, or we can partner.
I do think we could get some supplementation,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't depend on that, is why I wanna continue to ask for that amount.
Yes, and I understand that, and I think that, that's something we can take into consideration as well. But again, it's something that if we start asking, I can almost guarantee you would get more people. And then again, it could be a conversation with the friends. You know what I mean? Okay, all right, so, and then did I give you guys the other one with so these are some of her notes. This is just for you guys to review.
Okay.
And then
Those
this,
are explanations for the capital.
Awesome.
yeah, and then,
Okay. Thank you.
there was not this didn't get printed off, but I forgot to have you go take a look at this.
Oh, that's her.
That there's a
Needs.
capital improvement needs that she wants. It's gonna be about a little over 50,000, so it looks like about 53,000, right there. And this is, she's wanting for painting, repair and replace the building facade, and to repair and replace the HVAC. Now, we'd asked about
I
that.
did, and I do have an update for that. Finance said our HVAC has not been looked at since 2011. So it's working, and that's just been an emergency fund that we've been carrying forward.
So
But that's-
we should have it looked at, yeah?
Even though it's running fine.
Oh, yeah, just have it serviced and
Yeah,
maintenance.
have it serviced.
Service.
Has it been serviced?
You know if
They
it's
should
been,
be coming out every 2 months.
Yeah.
gonna
They
say
may
that-
be doing that.
Okay, can you
I will
follow up on
check,
that?
yes.
Because I'm like, to
Yeah,
not
there's
have
usually
it
a
looked
maintenance
at.
program.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a maintenance.
can't imagine since 2011, it's not had anything done. Like maybe
And
them
that's
talking about
what
like
it
changing
was.
filters in the
We do get
library and that
filters
kind of
changed.
stuff. They're
Well,
probably
that would be
checking,
maintenance.
That'd be
probably
maintenance, I
checking the
think,
system
yeah.
at the same time.
Okay, we do get that done.
Okay, and
Yeah.
can you look on the
Yes.
warranty for that as well?
There is not one. It's nothing, they have nothing signed after 2011 on it. Or that's when everything was done. It was paid for by 2011 because it was installed in 2008.
So 2008 is when it was started.
Yes.
So now, so we're going
warranties
on
usually
about,
last for
yeah,
5 years or something.
for 5 years or 10 years or
Sometimes,
sometimes,
yeah.
yeah. So we're looking, how old is that then? We're looking at,
20 years.
Mhm.
well, it's
Almost.
18,
Yeah.
Mhm.
no, 17. 17 years.
Y'all didn't hire me for mine.
So 17 years.
Yes.
Okay, all right, so I'm thinking that,
I'll clarify with Nick.
yeah, clarify with that, because we could even move that to another year. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just in
It was,
case.
I think when I talked to finance, they said that's what we've been doing, is just pushing it down the road
Okay.
as an emergency fund.
Okay, so 25 for replacing the facade, and could you send me an explanation of that, or did you send it
I
in
did.
the notes? Okay.
It's not in this packet, it's, I'll send it again.
Oh, if you send it, again, I can't get into my
Yeah.
emails, so I'll look for it. Okay, all right, so then, do you guys have any questions?
I don't think so.
I'm good.
Actually, I think there is an explanation at the bottom of it,
I was there.
and.
Billing,
and-
oh, there it is, billings, that's right. I know we had talked about it, okay.
Where's that?
It's
Oh, you have
this
it.
one, yes, but then we also have one more area to carpet next year. Replace, repair and replace, but then you put carpet in here. But,
That's just what finance had put that line title in there, but that's what the carpet would go under, is replacing it. It says repair, replace, but it's replace. Replace.
oh, that's the flooring for 2027.
Mhm.
I just need an explanation for 2026.
It's in the notes in your email.
Okay, okay, gotcha. I just heard that, so, okay. All right, so then, do you guys have any questions?
Mm-mm.
No? All right, I know, so I will make a motion to move the budget onto the full board, but with the questions and clarifying notes that are coming, from Gabby.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, all right. All right.
Let's jump on
do you-
Hendersonville real quick.
Okay.
Do it.
Do we need to
Okay,
go?
all right.
Do it.
Okay,
Done.
all right, so Hville is, sorry, I've got so many in front of me now.
Are y'all saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yep, yeah, thank you so much, Gabby, I
Yes,
really
thank you.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you so, we were trying to get you guys going, so,
Mhm.
all right, thank you so much.
Disappointed, they were hoping I'd be.
You'll have to move on all afternoon.
I'm the problem.
All right,
Oh, no, they're just-
all right, I make a motion to bring us back into session.
Okay.
Mhm.
All
Second.
right, okay.
Hendersonville's budget, all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank
you so
you.
much.
And
I'll
see you later. Enjoy your time in Gallatin.
Thank you, I'm gonna go get lunch.
Okay, there it is. Okay.
For the personnel lines, she's got an explanation of her salary worksheet and things like that. She, as well as Amy, is asking for some of her employees to receive increases before COLA.
Okay.
And that's reflected. She's got some notes there.
Okay.
Her budget is really pretty clean. She did it correctly by extending out, all the items. I think last year she made an error on that.
She didn't fill it out correctly. Always have to have numbers in
Oh, so she just needs to carry all this through, all the way
Yeah.
through.
it. Yeah, and Westmoreland didn't do it correctly.
No, I know Westmoreland didn't.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I will fix that with Phyllis.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
so see
And you
how,
haven't,
see how Portland and Gallatin.
yes, she just needs to carry all the line items, like all the way down,
Yes.
every one of them. Okay,
So
I'll make sure
all
she
the
does
numbers
that.
need to go in there.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, just, because right now it just shows, I'm assuming it's a $218,000 increase.
Yes.
Mm-hmm, yeah, so then 218 plus 934. Okay, 218,593 plus 934.
So $218,000 increase?
Yeah,
Yikes.
Well,
yeah.
part of it is $26,000 that is for her data processing, and I don't see where that line item is.
Now, last year, she was
Sure.
asking for people, because again, she does have the largest library.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right.
And they are short-staffed, and as we
Okay.
know, there's being a push to
Yep.
increase the hours, but
Mhm.
we don't have the budget
Right.
to even increase. So is she asking for full-timers or part-timers? Oh, no, last year she was looking
And
for
that
full-timers.
218 is mostly staff, correct? I'm assuming.
Some of it's operations, just,
It looks like 218 is for operations,
mhm.
because she doesn't have anything
Right,
in that.
nothing for her staff
So
increases.
$218,000 for operations, that's a lot.
Mhm. She's asking for one full-time staff member currently, and two if they're going to, if the board's gonna approve voting on Fridays.
Oh, I see what she did. Okay, here, I'm like, here. So she just didn't include the staff at the top,
Right.
but she,
And
yeah,
that's
it
her-
all needs to, because she put it on the
Salary
the
worksheet.
salary worksheet,
Mhm.
but it
Yeah, I'll
needs to
have
go on
it
there.
carry it through.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then, okay, so this, so. Yeah.
See, like her data processing is $32,000. She did not switch to Atrium. And her data processing also includes the Comcast, internet, and all of those line items. So that's a huge line item. And then her electricity is $55,000. That's up a little bit over last year, not a whole lot.
So I'm confused on the data processing. 24,000. It went to 32,000 from 12 to 27, and I know that was also, remember working
It
with
was
her on this.
$12,000 short last year.
That's right, it was $12,000 short, so it was actually 24,000
Correct.
was actually what she was needing.
Correct.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
She, and they, okay.
And that's where that mistake was made,
Yes.
because she thought she was asking for 12,000 more, but she only asked for 12,000.
Okay.
So that's where the gap was.
So in essence, she's only asking for $8,000 more this year, because it really should have been 24,000, correct?
Correct.
And what's the the for the 8,000?
Well, under her line item, let me find my notes on that one. She has Comcast, NES,
NES.
course, and all of, what did she tell me she puts under all of that? Under her data processing, her line item lumps more of her expenses into that. I'll get clarification on that, with
Okay.
her not being here.
Okay. And she got stuck at a doctor's appointment. I asked her if she was gonna be here, she
Okay.
got stuck at it for her daughter,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, she had some other items in there.
Okay,
I think it's her library solutions, OCI hosting,
well, would we be able to give
Cyber.
an explanation? I mean,
mhm.
if it's actually a $218,000 increase, is that what she's asking for?
Mhm.
Because
I know that's a lot.
that's gonna be a lot, and she wants a increase in salaries,
Mhm.
so
Yep.
it's gonna be a.
I've got a lot of question
Big
marks for
ask.
her to clarify.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd
On
be a
some things,
dinger.
yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like you, I thought and I know she had planned to be here today, so you could, on my notes, I don't know if you guys can see, but I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4,
Can't see.
5, 6, I've got 7 or 8 question marks
Yeah, I see
asking
that
for some
too.
clarification on some of her requests.
Okay,
And I had hoped to be able to ask her that today. And one of them is what all is included in her data processing line item, 32,000.
Okay. Okay.
And then there's also another one that she's asking for. It's a pretty large amount, 5,500 in furniture and fixtures. I don't know what that purchase is for or what the line item is requesting. So
Okay.
I will get clarification from the Hendersonville director, Alicia, on
And
some of these.
any capital improvements she's asking for?
Mm-mm.
No, so no capital?
Wow.
Okay.
However, I'll get her.
Maybe
Her
because
list.
there's a donation coming, hopefully?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think there was.
Yeah.
I heard about one, I'm not sure what's going on with that.
If we can ever get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll get some clarification
Okay.
on.
So we could just put this off then for another,
We can
So-
approve to move it to the board with some clarification
Yeah.
on the increase of, 218,000 in operations increase. What all does that encompass? And
okay, I move that we do that.
Okay, second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed?
And then this one. So this looks like it's similar to, she's asking for a $38,000 increase.
Mhm.
Okay.
And they are going to, the windows, that is,
Yeah.
they're asking, one of their increases is, they also want that AED.
And that's the capital.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right.
so, would
Is this
you mind
Westmoreland?
sending us to, yeah, Westmoreland, right there.
You
Yep.
should have
Yeah.
that.
And then really quickly, so the $38,000, is that an increase? Oh, no, it's not an increase in salary.
It's just,
Is that mainly
Really?
with the windows? Oh, no, that's the capital.
right. This is just operational increases.
Did we fill out the windows though? Because I remember us approving.
It's on her list for 26.
The windows?
But I don't think it's a capital outlay. It wasn't in,
I remember us voting because we actually voted to transfer from carpet to windows, and she said that it would cover it. I'm gonna have to look back in my notes, that's why I'm
Mhm.
confused right now.
where would that have come out of the 20?
No,
for
she had
budget?
already been approved for capital money.
Oh, she had already been approved for the carpet.
Mm-hmm. And she
She
moved
just swapped it to windows?
to windows, and we
Okay.
had to vote on it.
I do
and then
remember.
She took it to commissioner,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, I
to my knowledge,
remember.
she got it approved. So I'm trying to,
It may be approved, they just haven't been installed yet.
okay, I think if we can.
I'll find out
follow
from
up on
Lauren.
that.
I will.
Um,
And then the other thing that she has on here for capital outlay is roofing the entire building. And I just don't know if that's necessary. She's got $30,000 requesting for 2026.
Do you know when the roof was replaced?
Yeah, I mean, I asked that, and it's only maybe 11 years old. And I asked her, I said, who's telling you you need a new roof? Why do we have that? And she said, I was told that the entire building needed to be re-roofed. And I said, well, I think we need to arrange for a roofer to come out here and look it over. I mean, is it storm damage? Like, what has
Who
happened?
told you
Right.
that it had to be replaced?
She couldn't recall.
Oh,
Yeah. But, I mean, it's on here to re-roof the entire building, and it's a $30,000 capital outlay.
Yeah.
So I have it asterisked to find out,
okay.
why would it need to be replaced when it's
Yeah.
not old? I mean, it's,
Yeah.
the life of that roof should still be
Oh, for
another
sure, it
10,
should
15
have
years.
30 years.
At least on a commercial
Yeah.
building like that.
Yeah,
Um,
and I'm sure they have insurance on it too, so wouldn't insurance?
If it's
Normally,
storm
If it's a
damage,
storm
if it's-
damage, they
yeah.
would,
Correct.
or been damaged anyway, they would
Yeah.
Right.
cover that.
And then with the regular budget, what's, a $38,000 increase in operating expenses is still a pretty big increase, and that's for the windows, or what,
Mhm.
what's the big increase there? I can't see these numbers. Security system, looks like there's an increase there, almost $1,000 up at the top. Is that 36,550?
Increased a little bit on, utilities. It went from 7,100 to 7,500.
So
Maintenance agreement
security,
is 3,600. The data processing, went from 2,900 to 5,400.
okay, that's a lot.
Mhm.
Did she state why it went up? So let's see. So security went up $1,000. Security system and Canon agreement. $1,000 is a lot. Is that for printing?
Mhm. It's a copier. Mhm.
yeah.
And then the lease of
Do,
it.
do we know, so like what I did with Gabby is if any agreement, I said, tell me what the
Terms.
yearly is.
Yeah.
The terms are, did she tell you what they
Mm-mm.
were?
Mhm.
So do you think we could get the terms,
Mhm.
just so that we can see
Mhm.
what's going where?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that Lauren will still be agreeable since she's not working there anymore, to helping
Yeah.
us get that clarification and stuff, since she's the
Sure.
one who, is proposing the budget.
Well, I think even as an interim, Phyllis would need to know too, because she's
Sure.
probably paying it.
Mhm.
So we need the Canon agreement.
And the security agreement.
Okay.
And maybe just a little bit more of explanation about the 38,000 increase. And
Mhm.
I know it kind of gets convoluted when you're looking at numbers, and there's like one's 500 more, one's 1,000 more, but it seems like it would take a lot to get up to 38,000. There's
Mhm.
gotta be a couple of significant ones in there for it to be that much.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, library books and media, she put it 7,500, but she's put increased for inflation. I mean,
So, yeah,
it's
that's-
generally staying around 7,000.
Mhm.
So that could be even, 500 taken off. And I know they get, is it 2,000 from Westmoreland?
Okay.
So, and then office supplies went up 1,000. Predictions based on 25. Okay. All right. Book bags. What do we need book bags for?
Is that maybe
Other
one of their?
supplies and materials, one of their things. I mean, could we look for people to donate book bags?
I'm sure there would be a way to do that. I wonder if they're using the book bags for like the little kits that they
Yeah,
check
I-
out.
Yeah, it says other supplies and materials, so it's probably for a program, but, I'm just saying, could we
Yeah,
That
look
could be a Friends
for,
thing.
like a Friends
Mhm.
thing or a
Yeah.
donation? I mean, people donate book bags.
right.
And what we could even do is we could put a sign up at another, like Hendersonville, donate book bags for the Westmoreland.
Mhm. Yeah,
I mean, people, they
Of course
know
they would do
Westmoreland's
that.
out there, and
Yeah,
I think
they
that
would
we
do
could,
that.
we could do
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
I think asking people for, because I was good at it for 15 years, if people know there's a need,
Mhm.
generally they'll do it.
For sure.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that people just need to
They just
ask.
don't know. They don't know to think about that.
Yeah. All right,
So she needs to carry her items on
Yeah.
as well.
and then I'll have to take a bigger look at this when I can see it better, but.
Mhm.
So I'll look, we can look through these too and just ask for.
I'll get some clarification from
And
her.
then if we could get a, salary worksheet too.
Did you not get that? It should be in there.
Just this, maybe I put it over here. Ah, okay,
So it
sorry.
should, yeah,
Okay,
and the
salary worksheet, okay.
the
Is there-
capital outlay too.
Was
Is
there was this just a 3% COLA?
Mhm.
Okay, just 3%, okay. And then you're gonna ask about the windows.
Mhm. And I've got capital
And-
allocation
And the
for
roof.
13 windows.
Yeah.
And then
Right,
I'll
15,000.
Yeah.
find out who we need to get to inspect the building to make sure. If we don't need a roof, then this just needs to come off,
Yeah,
because it actually is under 2026.
okay.
Yeah, so is this one, this year.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know,
I think we
But
could
it-
even move that to like 2033.
yeah, I mean.
Yeah,
if
You know what I
what-
mean?
Definitely a long
So I
road.
guess just-
It's a long, long term.
Would I just call the county maintenance? I mean, who do I call to ask about getting the roof inspected?
I would find out who
Phyllis
does.
can do it. You can just ask Phyllis, say,
Okay.
hey, I'd like to get, maintenance to come out, or ask you to get someone to come and take a look at this. Because if it's,
Yeah.
it was 2011 it was put on, is that,
Mhm.
when was it?
No, I think it's just 11 years old.
11 years old, that's what it was.
Yeah, I think that's what Lauren.
And have her look into their insurance too,
Okay.
who's the insurance, and what is the insurance state?
Mhm.
How, because, like, I just went through my house, homeowner's insurance, if it's older than this
Mhm.
age,
Yeah.
then they won't cover anything, or it's a
Sure.
percentage.
Right,
Right.
So maybe kind of looking
Okay.
into that, so
kind of
we
a
can.
depreciation type.
Mhm.
of-
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
So,
okay.
okay.
So I move that we approve the budget with some clarification to
Second.
present it to the board. All in favor?
Aye. Okay, wonderful. And that's it.
So I think the only one.
And we
we've
already
got-
did Portland?
Yeah, we did Portland, and that
Oh,
one was claimed.
awesome.
We did
We just
everything.
approved that one with no explanations, pretty much,
All right,
because
awesome.
I was here to
Yeah.
answer any questions.
Yeah. So,
And then I'll get with Alicia and ask her some of the clarifying questions on why
Yeah.
her increase is so substantial as
and
well.
I'll get Gabby's too, and, if you want me to help with anything, just let me know.
I will. I may have to meet with Alicia too, just to.
Sure. Yeah. To go over.
Mhm.
Yeah, if there's anything I can do too.
But we need to get this wrapped up by next week.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
So
we've
we
got
can send-
another-
so we can send it
yeah.
to everybody. Yeah.
Send it, because we've got to have it, when it gets there March the 1st, it's done. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's no back and forth after that, so.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll reach out. I know Hendersonville's closed today, but I'll reach out to her on Monday to set up a day next week.
Okay.
And then I'll call the Portland Library today to see if I could just get a message into Lauren for her to reach out to me, and maybe at her convenience when she's not at work and stuff like that there, so.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sounds good. All right, make a motion for adjournment.
Second.
All right,
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Awesome. All right.
Let's see. This
Second.
one's.
Thank you, sorry, I gotta run.
Yes, go right ahead.